Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hoopers Lab podcast. This is the podcast where we talk all things basketball. I'm your host, Brody, joined here by my co host, Riley.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you doing today?
I am doing quite fantastic today.
Nice. Quite splendido. Okay.
Splendidly Reno.
Uh, yes, sir. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot has happened. Teams have been eliminated. Coaches are going to get fired. We have a lot to discuss. Do you have a certain team you kind of want to focus in on?
Um, I guess we can start off with the good old Lakers.
The good old
I feel like
Lakers.
their head coach is at the top of the list in terms of coaches that people are expecting to be fired.
I don't think he makes it like in the next 3 days he's going to be fired. I think there's no way he's back. Especially, did you hear his comments about
It's
like the starters?
yeah, it sounded like he was done with it.
He knows he's on the way
Yeah,
out, so like why not just like add fuel to the fire?
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know. The thing is, like, part of me like still wouldn't be surprised if he was there with the Lakers still next year. Because I don't know, for some reason it seems like the Lakers are trying to build this like family culture thing in their organization, and like with their like with Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, and Darvin Ham, they all seem to like each other. So I don't know. For some reason I wouldn't be surprised if he was still there, but he should be gone.
they would have kept Frankie Boy if that was the case, though.
That's
They won a
true.
championship with Vogel, and then, bro, I the Westbrook trade really set this team back so far. Like we're seeing the effects now.
Well, even
Like,
the Frank Vogel firing didn't really make any sense. It's like they were just trying to find a scapegoat. I don't know why they changed
yeah,
that championship team so much.
yeah, true. But that's all that coaches really do in the NBA. They're really just scapegoats.
Yeah, it's
Just like something to fall back
it's
on.
such a high like turnover between each coach and each team.
Yeah. hmm but with the Lakers, like I don't know who they would even like. I think the Lakers are trying to go after Ty Lue, but he's been extended, so I don't know why they'd be targeting him if he's already
Yeah,
under contract next
the
year.
rumor's been that the Clippers may fire him, which I think is I don't understand, but
That would be stupid.
that'd
That
be
would be
good.
again
Be
just
good.
trying to find a scapegoat.
It'd be good for the Lakers if they fired him,
Yeah, and then the other one is JJ Redick. Like I don't
bro.
think
That
that JJ's gonna.
I like JJ, and he is definitely like a great basketball mind. But that like podcast is doing bro wonders.
Yeah, facts. Bro, did you see the theory that apparently LeBron just did the podcast to like groom JJ into like the head coach role?
There's no way that's true. I mean, like
There's no way.
Braun is the GM at this point.
Okay, honestly, why isn't LeBron the coach?
That's what I was thinking. Because like
Like, is it that crazy?
you just need a legal coach. Like that's basically what Darvin Ham is. He's just the coach, like the actual coach, but like the
Well, that's
on-court
what LeBron
coach.
teams always are.
Yeah, no, like he's just there. But like I feel like LeBron is really the one that leads the team because Darvin's such a idiot.
Yeah, but like, I feel like it's very hard to have a head coach with a guy like LeBron James, which isn't like necessarily a knock on him, but it's just like, I don't know. Just be the coach yourself, my guy. Didn't Bill Russell, wasn't he like the coach during
While playing.
I think it was one of his last years. Bill Russell. He might have been a player coach. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just be your own coach, man. But yeah, Darvin Ham is not a good coach, and he's gonna be gone. They're gonna hire someone, and it's just gonna be the same cycle, really, because this
It,
team is not
the
good.
coach isn't gonna fix the team. It'll make it better. Maybe they won't be the seventh seed every year. But do you think
Yeah.
Darvin gets another head coaching job somewhere?
I think he goes back to an assistant. I don't really.
I don't know what he like does well in order because like Willie Green isn't a very good head coach, but like Willie Green would be a good like culture setting coach for a young team. But like in comparison to Darvin Ham, I don't think he can do that either. So like at that point, it's like I don't know what you do.
Yeah, I think he could be a good assistant, but I don't really know of him as like a head of a locker room, you
Yeah,
know? Um, but yeah, this Lakers team, they're gonna name chase. They're going after they're gonna try and go after Trey Young, Donovan Mitchell, but it's not gonna happen. There's no way, right?
what would a
There's
package be
no
for
way.
Trey Young? Like Austin Reeves and D'Lo,
And like Rui and like a bunch of firsts.
or maybe just D'Lo and Rui, and I think they have like three tradable firsts this offseason. Like I feel like if they
Yeah,
really wanted to, and if the Hawks were really willing to like blow it up, they could make it happen. But I just don't. I don't know, and I don't even think it's really worth it, because like at that point you're just gonna have the big three. But I don't know. My thing is as well with the Lakers. I've always thought if they there's not really very many guys in the league at this point that are like it, but they definitely need like another KCP, just a straight 3 and D wing.
yeah. Well, that's another reason why that trade set them back so much is because they got rid of KCP, who then went to the Nuggets eventually, and then he was a big part of their championship team.
And he
So,
no,
like,
literally, and he's still big for them. Like I didn't realize he was a free agent this offseason. He's gonna get a nice little extension.
ooh, I didn't realize that either. So, yeah, they're gonna have to start paying people, and then Aaron Gordon's probably gonna be a free agent soon, I would guess, because Jokic, Murray, and MPJ are all under contract. So that team's gonna start to get expensive.
Well, yeah, no, and Aaron Gordon pickup is still like crazy to me because
Such a good pickup. What did they
he
even give up?
he's just I don't know.
Gary Harris.
Oh my, he's just like literally the perfect fit for them. So like yeah, it's just crazy.
Well, and they just found such a diamond in the rough because he was just like a dunker. Like he was like their young draft pick. He was drafted high, had expectations, and then the Nuggets saw that potential and they were like, okay, you could come onto the team.
No, he's
And then he just really
just
blossomed.
god tier fit next to Jokic. Also, technically KCP has a player option, but it's for 15 mil.
Mm,
So I could see him declining it. Because I feel like he could make
yeah,
like in the open market, he could probably get like 18 to 20.
teams need shooting, man. Orlando Magic,
Yeah,
Orlando Magic.
and he's shown like his
um,
impact. So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, if you have money and you're trying to, and especially like the Sixers have money, like if I'm the Sixers, I would throw a bag.
Buddy Hield finally
Like
showed up
just
for them
because,
yesterday.
yeah, thank God, because before that game, he was literally the worst playoff
Bro,
player of
no,
all time.
bro wrecked the chance of him getting a bag.
Yeah, like really, that's so bad. And yeah, that was his playoff debut
No, literally,
at the
it's
age of like
so
30.
I know it's so weird because like you'd think he'd be such an impactful player, but like he just could not do anything for the whole series.
Yeah. But with the Lakers, I think another thing that like LeBron declined his player option, so he's not for sure coming back.
I thought that
I
was
don't
weird.
know what LeBron. Yeah, I don't know what his like direction is.
That was my thing.
Like,
Like
how does he?
I don't know what his mindset is because you think like because he's everything that he's done has leaned towards him just signing the I forget what the rumor was from Shams. It was like 2 or 3 year deal to re-sign with the
Mhm.
Lakers. But like if you're like I don't know why you would enter unrestricted free agency if you're just gonna plan to re-sign anyways. So I definitely think he's like trying to keep his options open a little bit.
Yeah, but I just don't know. Like, this is the end of his career. Like, he knows that. We all know that. But like, does he want to retire in LA or does he want to compete? Because I've always thought that he wants to just like stay in LA, but he also wants to compete. Like, I don't think you can have both. So I
Yeah,
think he has to make that decision if you want to like stay in LA, retire there no matter, what the team looks like or how they do. Or do you want to go team up with someone or like go for that final championship?
he's
Like
going
I
to
don't know what he wants.
He's going to Cleveland on the minimum contract. No, I think they'll. I think ultimately he'll just end up re-signing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that he's didn't just sign the extension already. Like I could see it maybe from like a
Yeah,
tactical perspective, trying to put pressure on the front office. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're also
he's been
40.
doing that the whole.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and you're also 40. It's like at some point we're gonna have to attempt to rebuild with no draft picks anyway. So
God, the post LeBron Lakers is gonna be rough. Um, they'll not be good for a long time. I feel like,
I mean,
but
the
they're
thing,
also the Lakers, and they can turn it around.
just pick up random free agents. No, that's true. But I also think like even like let's say LeBron retired right now and the Lakers just ran back their team like for the most part, like D'Lo, Austin Reeves, and AD core. I feel like that's okay enough for you to maybe compete for like the playoffs slash play in.
And that's
But
what
I
happened
guess
this year. Yeah,
the West is super stacked. But yeah, like I
teams are getting better. Yeah,
yeah
I don't know. But yeah, they were in the play-in this year, and I feel like another year of LeBron getting older, and also like the West getting better every year. Like it would just be hard.
the West is gonna be a
Um,
dogfight next year.
it was this year. It is every year, really.
Grizzlies coming back. Houston's gonna get better.
Spurs are
Wemby.
gonna probably, yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. I don't know,
I doubt
but
Portland's any good. Just like serious good.
what? Yeah, they'll still be bottom feeders, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that there's a chance that Curry, LeBron, and KD they team up?
No, there's no way. It'd be so fun, but there's no way. Unless like they'd have to go to Golden State. Like I don't see
It would be Golden
any
State.
way that Steph leaves Golden State. Um, like I could
I don't
see.
know if KD goes back to Golden
I don't
State.
know, bro. I was gonna say I could see KD low key being interested in going back, but I just don't think LeBron does that, man.
I don't think LeBron does that. But yeah, KD, it would just be kind of embarrassing because he hasn't gone to the conference finals since
It's literally the
leaving the team.
It's literally the Thanos
It's
meme,
literally
bro.
just crawl. Yeah, it is. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to Golden State.
For real though.
And yeah, Draymond would also have to be off the
I
team.
was gonna say, no, like
And could Steve Kerr be the coach? Like, what's KD's relationship with Steve Kerr like?
I feel like they're fine.
Like, I feel like yeah, I don't know.
I kind of like the way that
The,
Golden State has set themselves up though for the future, because they have Steve Kerr on the same with the same amount of years as Steph, so that'll like
Mhm.
officially once like Steve Kerr is no longer the coach, that feels like it'll like officially be the end of that era.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors can get it done. It's just about if those players want to go to Golden State and team up. And hey, they're all gonna be at the Olympics. They're all gonna be talking.
How would you even get
I don't know when.
how would you get KD on the roster?
You trade Kuminga, a bunch of picks.
Do you have to go Kuminga
Yeah,
and CP? Because if you're the Suns, the last thing I'm trading for is fucking Andrew Wiggins. So I think I don't know if I want to reunite Chris Paul either. Um,
yeah. I don't know. I think Kuminga's valuable. I
I
think
do too.
Kuminga is a valuable piece, and they have their draft picks. Like I don't think they've traded any really. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think Kuminga is a good piece. If you're the Suns, I think that's a good piece to get back. But yeah, you do need a lot more.
Yeah,
But then again, KD's old. He's also under contract though, so
it's
I
got
don't
like
know.
what 2 years after this? I think it's two.
Something like that. Yeah. Um, but then also like it makes sense because I think these players all still want to compete
Yeah,
and they're not on teams that can. So I can see them seeing this as like the opportunity to do so. But then again, we've seen like look at the Suns experiment. Look at like the Clippers experiment, just putting together like a bunch of superstars. It
Yeah.
hasn't really worked out. So
No,
would this be any different even?
no, exactly. And it's actually crazy to me that like they're all still as good as they are, yet they were all like it was a real possibility at the end of the season that they could all miss the playoffs completely, which is like crazy.
Their teams just suck, man.
Yeah.
Like some of that is a bit of age. Like I think with Kevin Durant, like the thing that I didn't like with the Suns exit interview, was that KD was kind of complaining, or no, there was reports from I think Shams that KD wasn't happy sitting in the corner and he didn't like the offense. But like I feel like a lot of that was on him.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he wasn't aggressive enough in lots of
Well,
situations
he's definitely not
where
that type. Like he'll go with the flow of the offense. But yeah, I do think part of that is coaching. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you would expect when you got a defensive minded coach and don't have a point guard. Like the people that were supposed to figure out the offense were Book, Beal, and KD, and they maybe part of that was just because they never got to play together all enough in general. But
they laughed at him.
yeah,
They laughed at Frank when he wanted a point
no,
guard.
that's
That's crazy.
no, that's so stupid, man. Like that's it. It low key makes me feel happy to see that they got swept. It's just like a huge.
Honestly, yeah.
I don't even want to say wake up call, but it's like what you should have. Like it just showed all the flaws that they have.
I hope it's a wake up call for the league that like you can't build teams like this. Like I was looking at the history of like the NBA past champions. All of the past champions for like such a long time have been natural, like built from inside. You look at the Nuggets, obviously, they were all like built naturally. The Warriors through like drafting and like good management,
Yeah,
and then the Bucks as well. And then like the Lakers is the only one that you could say was like an artificially built team, but they didn't have like that third guy. They had LeBron, AD, and role
yeah,
players, like really good role
they built
players.
an actual perfect roster around their duo.
Yeah, and then you have the Raptors, which is the same. Like they got Kawhi, but they had the perfect infrastructure that they just put Kawhi in.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, like there's not really like Cleveland, I guess, just because they got
Cleveland
like Cleveland is the only one you could say was like the like an artificially built team kind of.
traded Wiggins for Kevin Love and then brought LeBron back. Sort of.
Yeah. Sort of. Yeah, still not the same extent. Like I just don't think this formula works.
Yeah.
Like you and like to beat the Nuggets, like cuz the Nuggets are the big bad. I think that you need to kind of do what they're doing. Like I think the Thunder, like I like what the Thunder are doing. I think that they're kind of a team that is in that Nuggets mold
Well,
where they're drafting from within and
yeah,
building from within. I mean,
that's the thing, cause like when you're building your team through the draft and building it organically, you have time to kind of figure out what pieces work and what pieces don't. With the Suns, you picked up $50 million Bradley Beal to go alongside $50 million KD and $40 million Devin Booker, and now you have no flexibility. You can't trade Bradley Beal when you found out that it didn't work as well as you were hoping it would. So now you're just kind of stuck
oh,
with
he's stuck
now
there,
you're just kind of
bro.
stuck with this team that doesn't fit all that well together, and that's yeah, that's funny because Beal spent his whole career just uh, mid mid teams, lottery teams. Now he's gonna just have to spend his time in purgatory again.
Yeah, well, he just has such a big contract, man. It's actually crazy. And the no trade clause as well. Like that contract is not going to be able to be
Well,
moved.
it's 2 years
So
plus a player option, is it not? Or is it 1 year and a player option?
it it's got to be two plus a player
Yeah,
option,
which like he's not because I think at
which
that
is
point it'll be like
insane.
57 mil. Like had to be insane to turn that down.
Yeah. So like I think the Suns are going to run it back unless like they're going to try and get rid of Nurkic, but I don't think there's any team that would like that needs Nurkic. There's only one team is the Grizzlies. If they don't draft Alex Sarr,
Yeah,
like the Grizzlies are the only team that I could see Nurkic fitting on, just because like Steven Adams was good there, and they kind of do the same things with like screen setting, big body, and then Jaren is kind of like the rim protector.
Yeah, but
And Nurkic like,
Steven,
needs to help Jaren rebounding.
yeah. Well, Steven Adams was just such a like better anchor defensively as well, though. That's the only difference I'd say.
Yeah,
He's just such like a
he's kind of, but
big
yeah,
body in the paint.
yeah, true. I don't know, man. It's tough, and
If you trade
I
Nurkic,
think
you're
that
getting a significant downgrade.
you're not getting a player back that's better than Nurkic. So they're just like really stuck. And like I don't think like do you think KD requests a trade?
I don't think yet. Like based off of Matt Ishbia's like what he said, it seems like
Oh my
all
god.
signs are pointing back to them running it back. But because
He's just such bad
he's
vibes though.
I know
KD's a vibe guy.
he is, and he's for some reason so like happy with his team that just got swept in the first round by the 3 seed. But
Is he?
yeah, he seems like super confident that they can make them like
Oh,
make
I
the proper changes. But like I could see them being in
okay, he'll probably stay
I
then.
could see them being in the same spot next year, and then they're like, okay, we got to trade KD, because at that point it's like 2 years of similar of no success. It's like okay, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Well, kind of three.
Yeah,
Like the year with when they still had Chris Paul and Aiden. But I mean, they went up against the Nuggets,
I
but
think
like
they
still,
should have
they
kept Aiton.
honestly, yeah,
I said that
like
before,
it was
and it's nice.
yeah.
The Grayson Allen pickup has been really good for them, but there's just like it's they need a player like Aiton when he's like actually locked in. Obviously, when his when his
Yeah.
car is stuck in his driveway because of the cold, then
Pro
we've got issues. But
Hey, that's no problem in Phoenix. But yeah, same thing with like Chris Paul. Like I feel like Chris Paul, like they needed that point guard, and they
yeah,
just like I wouldn't have. I wanted them to run it back with like I know Chris Paul was not good this season, but I wouldn't have minded them running it back with Chris Paul and Aiden and KD
I
and
know. I
stuff.
feel like we didn't get to the full vision of what that team could have looked like.
And Frank Vogel was talking about like Aiden, how he's gonna like how like I was excited for Aiden to become a defensive anchor
Yeah,
because that's what it seemed like Vogel was gonna focus on. And I think that he could have done that because they were a good defensive team with Nurkic at the center.
yeah,
And I think that he might have been able to unlock Aiden that way. Um, and then Chris Paul would have helped the offense flow kind of, but we'll never know. Um, I think that Vogel is going to be gone.
yeah. He's definitely the
I
scapegoat.
there has to in every like upsetting like disappointing season there has to be one, and I think that it's going to be him
Yeah,
just because it I but he's a good coach. Like he'll find a job.
I've always liked
Um,
Vogel.
a team will, yeah, I have two. A team will want him. I don't know what that team is, but I he's gonna get a job. But um, I also have like been seeing some stuff about Booker. Like this is the end of him with the Suns, but that's not gonna happen.
Booker
I
just
don't think.
feels like a Suns lifer. So as long as they can eventually, like, if you can convince Booker that if you're gonna rebuild, we'll rebuild a better roster around you. I think you could convince him to stay. If you can put better pieces around them this offseason, I think you're not at an issue, you don't feel like you're gonna lose Booker at all anytime soon. So I don't know. I'm confident that Booker would stick around.
I think it goes both ways. Like I think Booker wants to be a one-team guy. I think he said that before. But then again, like people say that all the time.
Yeah,
But I really believe that Booker wants to be a Sun, and I also believe that like the Suns should do everything in their power to make sure that he is a one-team guy.
yeah, I
Like
agree. I agree.
if like he is the head of your franchise, you drafted him like 13th overall, and you've really developed him. You drafted him, developed him into this star player, and I think that you should want to keep him happy, like whatever it takes to have him there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like if you you only trade KD if you request a trade. Like you just don't go trade KD, and then you see like Booker would be mad about that,
Yeah,
and you get a return that he's like happy with. You know, like I think you should do everything in your power to keep this man happy.
No, exactly.
And I don't like the rumors that he's going to leave. Like Stephen A. bringing up the Knicks, like that's just stupid.
That's
Like they're
just
not
that's
doing
just
that.
that's just Stephen A. talking. But yeah, no, that's the thing.
No,
Because like I think if you could get the Suns in a better place either way, you could convince Booker that you've got something going forward. But the problem is like at this point, it feels like you have nothing going either way. You have no draft capital
yeah,
because their owner doesn't care about picks. So you at the moment you can't even look at that as an option as a way to build your team up. And then you have no flexibility to make the team better either because you're paying your third best player who couldn't be effective in a playoff series $50 million and almost 60 on his last year.
okay. I actually really dislike Bradley Beal. He
Damn,
was
this is
he
this is
was
the Bradley
so
Beal hate.
bad,
This is the Bradley Beal hate podcast.
bro. Like when Vogel was trying to like high five him, and he was like, "Man, get out of here!" Like, bro, he's trying to help you. Like, if I was the coach, like, sit your ass down. You suck, man. Get off this team. And he's trying to like Vogel's trying to like keep things together and like you know trying to be like, "Oh, good job, man." Like, we'll get him next time. And he's like, "Get off me." Like, he just has such a bad attitude. I feel like, and all his comments about I've never been swept in my life, so
That's
I'll
what
be damned if I be
that's
swept.
what he gets, bro. That's what he gets.
Honestly, once he said that, I was like, I hope this motherfucker gets swept. Like honestly, and then the like him laughing with Isaiah Thomas on the bench
Yeah,
during
yeah.
game 3, I think it was. Like, bro, it's not good vibes with Beal,
Bro
man.
couldn't get swept because he hasn't been in the playoffs in years.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been swept in the playoffs. Yeah, how many times have you made the playoffs, my guy?
Try and make the
Like
playoffs without
twice?
John Wall, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, that's my little Bradley Beal rant. I just I just don't like his vibes. I don't think that like the only hope with this team is that you run it back and you hope that they play more games together and they
Yeah,
gel
there's
together.
more cohesion.
I just doubt it.
I just think they need
I don't.
like one or two guys off the bench to actually be good. Because like all the minimum players they picked up this year did absolutely nothing. So like I feel like when you run that idea again back this free agency, if you can get at least one or
Hmm.
two guys that can actually impact basketball in some way, you've got something to
Yeah.
look forward to.
Well, I think everyone was looking at their off season as like a big W because they like everyone was looking at them getting these guys for minimums and they were like, okay, the Suns are cooking.
They were
They were
yeah,
like,
like it
okay.
looked like they were picking up decent
At the
good
time,
players and like none of them helped out at all.
in a playoff series, you can't just have a bunch of minimum contract players. Like right now, like Royce O'Neal was a really good pickup,
Yeah,
but that was through a trade.
yeah.
And then Grayson Allen was Grayson Allen one of the guys they signed for a minimum?
No, they picked Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen was a part of the Aiton trade. I think it was Aiton, Nasir
Was
Little,
he?
and Grayson Allen. I'm pretty sure.
The Bucks are part of that trade?
There were so many.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure they picked him up
I'm
via
trying to.
trade
Yeah, how many teams were in that deal?
because it was yeah. They I don't even remember the I don't even remember like
He was a part. Yeah, he was a part of this trade. Oh, because the Bucks are in it. Yeah, he was on the Bucks. So then he was part of the Dame trade. So yeah, they got they got Aiden. No, they got Nurkic and what's his face? Nurkic and Grayson Allen in the Aiden deal. So
yeah
okay, yeah, he got traded. Okay, my bad. But still, he was making a minimum pretty much,
yeah. Well, I think he was making
and he
no, he
really
was making
showcased
pretty. I think you're right. Not very much.
something like that. But yeah, the Suns are not trading Devin Booker to the Heat or the Knicks, so stop it. Stop the tap.
Do you
Um,
do you think the Bucks make any major moves this offseason? Not like picking up a star or anything, but any roster shakeups?
um, I just like they're another team that like the flexibility is not there,
Yeah.
and like
And
You
it's
have
not even,
Dame.
and it's not even like
And then,
money wise either, for like that they're not flexible. Like it's just like at the end of the day, who wants Brooke Lopez? No one. So like,
they have no, yeah, they have no assets. Yeah, no one's gonna want Brooke
because
Lopez.
like that's the thing I think you need to do. I think you need to transition to the younger side of things.
He's just so he's just so
But
slow.
yeah, no one like Brooke Lopez has been solid and he's been great for them and he got his extension last
He's
year.
been great. Yeah,
But there's just no like he's getting older. There's no one that would want him. Even Chris Middleton, while he had a great series, surprisingly, he's not getting any younger either. Um, and just even Dame is getting older now. And you're not going to trade Dame
yeah,
because you just traded for him. So yeah, I honestly I think they'll unfortunately just be they'll have to run it back, but ideally
I agree.
ideally I
Like,
think they need to make some change, especially to the bench. Their bench is kind of hot dog water. But I guess like if the young guys can take some sort of leaps.
I was gonna say, like, you really gotta hope that Andre Jackson, Jr. takes a big step, and
Yeah,
also AJ Green. Like,
yeah.
you're really just because that's the only inner development that can happen. Um, but they're also gonna have Doc Rivers as a fucking coach, man, and that's just not a recipe for success. Um, having Doc Rivers as a coach.
That's gotta be like the craziest fumble of all time. Having the opportunity to pick up Nick Nurse and you picked up Adrian. Uh, yeah, what's his name?
Yeah,
Adrian Griffin. Yes.
man's so forgettable as
No.
either. But then also for you to be 30-13 and then fire him for Doc Rivers, who's like notorious for being a choker.
I think the firing was crazy because like I feel like at that point you had to bite the bullet and hope that he can figure it out more. Because I feel like like the only thing that was bad was the defense, and Doc did come in and help out the defense, but it's not like he came in and they were like locking people down again.
Yeah, like they just weren't getting in transition. It was also a respect thing. Like if no one in the locker room respects you, then it's hard to kind of rally behind you in a playoff series. But I think that's kind of a player thing too.
I was gonna
Like
say
he's your coach, deal with it.
fucking Giannis advocates for this guy, and then he's like, I made the mistake.
Yeah, but this is just another chapter in the Doc Rivers excuse. He didn't have
My
Giannis, he
roster
didn't
was
have
bad.
Dame for the last. Yeah, I don't give a shit, man. This man is not a good coach. He should have stayed on TNT, man.
Hell no,
I
I
think
don't
it
want
was
to hear
TNT
don't want to hear
because
his
he was
ashy voice on commentary.
ashy.
Good layer.
Oh, bro, have you seen interviews? Like this man needs to retire. He needs to stop yelling so much. Have you seen like there was a clip of him when he first was commentating a game in like the late 90s, early 2000s or something, and his voice was like
Yeah,
perfectly fine.
yeah.
Like this man needs to.
Coaching did a total on my man.
It has that total on him. But yeah, back to the Bucks. There's nothing they can really do, which sucks. But like, there's a lot of teams that are just kind of stuck, and I think it shows you how like management. You need to manage your team, and also like you need to have a mix of youth and age. Like, I don't think you could have a team of just old guys and vets and think you can win. Like,
Yeah.
I think you do young guys that can, that can improve your team internally, but also like bring some youth and some, like, I think youth is valuable.
Well, that's the thing
Um,
about just being able to draft organically and using the regular season to build up your young talent. Like I understand not wanting like drafting someone and not throwing them into the fire in the playoffs as a rookie, but like at least let them get some burn so that in the next year or two they can actually be an impactful player for you.
Yeah. But then also like I think people talk about how veterans are like underrated just because like there's not as many vets in the league anymore. And like when you look at young teams, like young teams do need vets, but also I think that goes the other way where old teams need youth.
Yeah,
Like I think that there's that vibrance and energy
that's
and
the
just
thing.
like that pace
Yeah,
Like these old teams are just slow and they just can't keep up with some of these faster teams.
You can only really play
Um,
your style because it's just too hard to keep up. And yeah, that's the thing. Like just having energy guys come in and change the momentum of the game and just
mhm.
ease things up for them. So yeah, I agree.
And young guys with hunger as well. Like have a guy that's like lower in the rotation, have him work his way up, and just like learn from some of these older guys and have him work his way up.
Yeah,
I don't know, like like Andre Jackson Jr. Like he's not a good NBA player, but like I like his energy that he brings,
no,
and
that
like he's that.
yeah, that's where he impacts. Even if he's not
You
super
you need
talented.
more players like him
Yeah,
on the Bucks. Like that's kind of the issue.
do they have their pick this year? I doubt it. Maybe.
Uh, I don't know. And then the same thing for like the Suns, and I know Josh Okogie isn't young, but like I liked when he started to play just because he brought in an
Oh
energy
yeah,
and like
his only problem is that like he can't really do anything
he,
offensively. But like if he could consistently knock down a jump shot, he'd be fantastic for them, bro.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, easier said than done. But Bucks draft picks, yeah, I doubt they do. I think they're still paying back for the Drew Holiday trade, are they not?
I think they haven't even. I don't even know if they've started paying back for the Drew Holiday trade yet. I think next year the Pelicans have their
God
pick.
damn.
I think next year the Pelicans have
Yeah,
their pick, and maybe even like
they
26
do.
and 7, in like with at least one of them being like a swap, maybe.
They have a swap in. So they don't have their own first round pick until 2020. It doesn't say 2031, I
Oh,
guess,
2020.
because they don't have a first round pick. Oh wait. Oh, these are outgoing draft picks. Yeah, they don't have a first round pick this year. They have a second from Portland,
Who's their first go to
and
this year?
then
Because I don't think it's the Pelicans.
uh 2024. You don't think it's the Pelicans?
I
It
don't.
might
I
be the
don't think so. I'm
Blazers.
pretty sure the Pelicans get their pick next year.
Well, it's gotta be the Blazers or the.
Yeah,
Let me
probably.
see. Bucks. No, it's New Orleans. New Orleans has their pick this year.
Damn.
Damn.
Or Japan.
But then it's a pick swap with. Oh no, they do have. Okay, so they're gonna have a first round pick. They're gonna swap with New Orleans. Um,
Well,
so they'll have a like late first round pick.
yeah, they'll probably just end up keeping theirs. Because I assume New
Mm.
Orleans has the option
Oh, they're gonna.
to swap
Yeah,
it. I assume they wouldn't swap it if their pick's already better.
yeah. So they're gonna have like a pick in the 20s. Like you can get guy in the 20s. Like we've seen guys like
Well,
Tyrese Maxey.
especially this draft, I feel like that's where more where the you have opportunity not to miss this year. I feel like this draft has decent depth. It just doesn't really have top end talent.
I agree with that, but also how much are the Bucks prioritizing scouting?
That's
Like I
true.
kind of think that like teams without draft picks, they just don't get like the Suns literally said like we don't give a fuck about drafting. So I doubt they have any like actual scouts on the roster
Yeah,
like that are like why would they? If you have no picks, like I think that yeah. So I think the Bucks like it's kind of just gonna be a blind draft for them. Like, I could be wrong, but I kind of see that they're just gonna throw a dart at dartboard and hope that it like lands
that's fair.
because I don't know how much scouting they're really doing when they're trying to put all of their assets towards like winning a championship.
Yeah,
But also like you built your team through drafting, so I don't know what their well your championship team at least. Um, yeah, I don't know. I want to talk a bit about the
I was
76ers
gonna
because
say
they also just got
we
eliminated.
got to talk about Philly. I feel like th- they have such an interesting offseason they could put together.
They have two different options, I think. There's two different ways of seeing their offseason. They could either try and go after a guy like Siakam or Paul George, or just try and get like that third guy, because we've seen that like Maxey and Embiid are great.
Yeah,
So I think that one of their options is using their money because they have a bunch of money, using their money towards getting that third guy that could put them over the top. Or there's the option that I like better, which is they just get a bunch of depth
Role players.
and they just build around. They just like start from scratch.
Better
Like
role
you're basically
players.
starting a team from scratch. Yeah, with Embiid and Maxey, who were amazing. Well, Maxey was amazing, except for the last game. Um, but you can win with that duo, I think, if the right pieces are around them.
That's the thing. Because like if you go after Paul George, you're gonna have to pay Paul George 40 plus, and then you're already gonna have to extend Maxi. So at that point, you've basically already used up all your money. I think if you could get a bunch of
Yeah,
like, because they sort of did it this year, like on the fly through trades, um, where they just went after role players. But I think during the off season, you'll have the opportunity to do it better. Now that you don't have
hmm
Toby Ass's money on the books. Um,
Oh my god.
but
Yeah, because that's kind of like this year's playoffs. It was just Embiid, Maxi, and a bunch of others. But
the others
like,
just
I
weren't
think if you
met.
can make those others, yeah, if you can make those others like actually good players, I think you can win. You can go far.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Um,
I don't know if they re-signed Buddy off of how he played. So
no,
I don't know.
everyone's gone.
I haven't done a
I-
Sixers rebuild in a while. I'm just trying to think is in like free agency. Is Gary Trent Jr. a free agent?
that's another
I
thing.
feel like wouldn't be a terrible fit. Although he's had some ups and
Mm,
downs this season.
yeah, I also don't know his relationship with Nick Nurse really. I
No,
think
that's true.
'cause he coached him. But yeah, that's kind of like, do you want to be the Suns from this year, where you just like buy into a big three and then get a bunch of minimums, or do you want to kind of be like the bubble Lakers, where you have a big two and then you just fill it out with role players?
The thing is,
And I would vote for that one.
I feel like if they were to go after PG or Siakam, there's no way that could like negatively impact your team. But I still think the better option is to
And
pick out multiple players because like they only have like what 3 or 4 players under contract heading into free
yeah,
agency. So yeah,
but I mean, we've said that with lots of teams that have failed. Like,
yeah,
there's no way that this could go wrong. So I'm just very cautious. I would look at history. And also, like, I would definitely go for role players with this money. The only problem with that is that Embiid would have to carry more in the regular season,
yeah, or maybe
which I think is
Maxi.
a big problem. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I guess role players can win games in regular seasons, but role players are mostly for the playoffs.
Yeah,
But like, you can have role players step up. Um, but yeah, the thing about Embiid is that he goes so hard in the regular season, he has to carry this load every year, and then he gets to the playoffs and he's just gassed. Um, so getting a guy like Paul George or Siakam could help that in the regular season,
if
get him
Paul
some
George can
more.
fucking stay healthy.
Yeah, maybe Paul George not so much. But like, you can win games with Siakam and
I was
Maxey.
gonna say Siakam and Maxi does seem like a nice little
They would play every minute.
duo even without Joel on a night to night basis.
I don't know if I see Siakam. Like, I know Siakam and Embiid have that Congo connection, but like, I think Siakam wants a break, man.
Yeah,
I don't think he goes back to Nick Nurse.
it'd be an interesting. Bro's gonna be like,
He'll play 48 minutes a night.
gotta play 48 every night again.
Yeah, and I don't know if it also affects things that like that they made it to the second round, but I don't know. I can see him staying in with the Pacers. And then I don't think Paul George leaves. So
Neither
you
do I.
might have to do the role player route, which again I think is the option that
Yeah,
I think
no,
is
it might be a blessing in disguise for them, so that because like after that, there's what Harden, and I don't even know if there's any other
best.
like super rig free agents after that.
OG, just throw a bunch of money at him.
Oh yeah, that's
But
the thing. Like if you were to go after OG, I think you'd have to throw him a bag similar to what you'd be throwing PG anyways. So at that point, it's like, I love
yeah,
OG, but the Knicks are prepared to pay him. So like you'd have to outbid the Knicks, which I don't think they'll do.
and again, it's it's just the Nick Nurse thing again. Like, why is it all former Nick Nurse
They just
players,
want to
man?
reunite everyone with him.
Yeah, they just want to build the 2019 Raptors team, but on the Sixers.
Is LeBron going to Philly?
No,
feel like that's such a weird way to count age. 39.3.
Oh, you're what? 39.3.
You think they pick up Clay? I really hope not. He's looked so like, and I know like Embiid has a different type of gravitational pull, but like he
I mean,
he's not good
if that's
defensively anymore, and he's not even that great of a 3-point threat anymore.
if that's your big guy, yeah. Like I'd rather take a risk on a Luke Kennard, honestly. Like Luke Kennard and Clay are kind of doing the same things.
They're gonna pick up DeMar DeRozan, aren't they?
Oh my God, no! Holy crap, no, no, God, please, no, no, no.
Lonzo has a player option.
I don't
Do you
know.
think Lonzo takes that player option?
Why wouldn't he?
I guess. I don't know.
That's free cash. The hill. Is he even gonna play?
I assume he's hopefully gonna be good to go next season, at least at some point. Seems like he's
But
making.
now they have Kobe White and Io.
That's
What are they gonna
that's the
do?
thing. Maybe he's like, I need to go prove my value somewhere else.
I think money is money, man. If you're coming off a big injury, you take the money.
That's true. Oh, this free agency
It's
class
just too much of a risk.
is kind of dog water. Malik Monk.
Oh, you're looking at Blake Monk? I don't know if he. I mean, that would be a nice player to have, but I don't think the Kings are gonna. Yeah,
What
that's
are
another
your
thing. Is like
What are your thoughts on what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say this is a bad draft to kind of have this much flexibility, or a bad free agency to
Yeah,
have this much
like even
flexibility.
the role players is super limited. What are your thoughts on Patrick Williams? I know he's restricted, but like I feel like that could be an interesting fit next to Embiid because he's a good 3-point shooter and he's a decent defender as well.
See, I think with a playoff team, a team that you want to win a championship, you need guys with the right mentality.
That's true.
I don't know if Patrick Williams has the right
If
mentality.
you throw him that
I don't
bag,
know if
maybe
I
he will
trust
have
him on champions.
maybe he will have the mentality.
I feel like that's the opposite. If you throw him a bag, I feel like he's like, okay,
Hass-
sweet. I didn't do anything and I got a bag, so
Hassan
why would I try?
Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, literally. He's done nothing with his career and he's just like gonna be given a bag.
I'm
Like I don't
I'm just trying
think
to get
so.
my 2K overall up.
That's so crazy. Um,
Sadiq Bey.
yeah, I don't. There really is no one in this free agency, huh? It's the Deke Bay. Nicholas Claxton and Embiid. Pair them up.
That's why
Miles Bridges.
yeah, Miles Bridges wouldn't actually be a terrible pickup for them. But yeah, that's why I'm also not opposed to the idea of them going star hunting, just because even the role players this free agency are very limited.
Yeah, this is a bad free agency to have all this flexibility. Like if this was a free agency where it was kind of stacked with role players and stars, then I think that like it's just bad timing.
Yeah,
Like it's a good situation, I think, to have Embiid and Maxi and then kind of build your team from there. But it's just not the right time for it to be happening to them.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm interested because I don't. I think they're gonna have to just get role players. I don't see Paul George leaving.
No,
I
neither
really
do
don't.
I.
I never
And
have.
I don't think I'd pick up. Um, I'd be trying to pick up Pascal Siakam if I was
That's
Philly.
another thing too. Like Siakam would be good for the regular season, but again, it's like in the playoffs, I don't know about that fit together.
Yeah, it
Like,
definitely be
don't get me
clunky.
wrong, it would be a bit clunky. Like they're great players, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
Um, what about did the Heat do something? Where's the Heat looking like? Because
they
they're out
could
now.
pick up someone off the streets that might be good for them. Maybe I don't know. I don't think that I don't know if I see them making any big moves. Like I feel like they're always in conversation to make a big move, but they never really do. And I just don't know like what that would really be this off season in particular. Because like I feel like at that point you're only because you're not trading Bam, so your only other really valuable piece is Tyler Hero, and I don't know. I just don't know what Tyler.
Valuable.
Yeah, I just don't know what Tyler Hero really can get you that's better than himself.
He's the hardest player to gauge his value.
Yeah,
Like that's why it's like harder to be a GM than you think because like I don't know what his value is.
Well, because he hasn't really
Like,
had to play in big games. Like you obviously played this series, but I mean the Heat didn't.
huh?
The Heat didn't have Jimmy Butler. Well, okay,
Are we forgetting his rookie season when he was a god and he was
that was like
torching in big games?
5 years ago.
That's crazy.
No, but
But yeah,
like
no,
since
I know
then,
what you mean.
like like he's just the same player. Um, and
Yeah,
like we haven't got to really see him in a competitive playoff series in a while because he missed most of basically all of last year, and then
he
this
did.
year he played
Yeah,
the Celtics in the first round without Jimmy Butler, so like no one was anticipating the Heat to do anything anyways. So like, yeah, we haven't got a recent gauge for him in a while.
yeah. I think another thing is he's not as young as he was like before. Like before, you could kind of think, okay, he's a young player to start a franchise with, but he's gonna be 25 next season. So, and he's making, which is crazy that he's already almost 25.
I was gonna say,
But he also has like he just signed his he's making 27 million and then he's going to be making 29 million next year. Like you're not that much of a young player. It's like the DeAndre Ayton thing. Like once you get that bag and you're like 24, 25, are you still a young player that you kind of want to trade for?
yeah,
Like yeah, I don't know. I think if I'm a team looking for a Tyler Hero type, it would have to be someone that's younger and not having their extension kicked in yet.
yeah, I agree.
Um, so I just like I don't know. Like obviously they want to go after a guy like Donovan Mitchell. They want to get that third star, which is like they need a guy like Donovan Mitchell to really put them over the top. But there's no avenue to really get there.
No,
So
exactly.
I think that I think they stay the same kind of.
Unfortunately,
Um,
as much as I like the Heat and their quote unquote underdog story that they have to go with every year, I think it's time that they not necessarily blow it up, but they're going to have to reform this team that they have. And I think that's only going to officially really happen when Jimmy Butler's not good anymore.
well, did you see the stuff about his extension?
No.
I think Jimmy wants a 2-year, $113 million extension.
What's it?
I think that I've seen a report about that.
Sounds.
Um,
I wouldn't be surprised. What's his contract at currently, though? Like, how many years left on it?
so he's eligible to sign a 2-year, $113 million extension, and I think that he wants it. What was your question? What's his contract right now?
Yeah, like, when would that 2 year
Yeah,
begin?
yeah. I'll check that right now. So he's under contract next season, and then the season after that he has a player option. So I'm guessing he
So
would.
they'd probably extend. They'd probably do the extension for that player option year plus the extra year.
So then he would be under contract. Let's say he does. So he would have 2 more years left right now, and then a 2-year extension. That takes him till 2026, 2027. So like, how old is he gonna be when he's making like he's 34 right now? Like he's gonna be 38, making
Yeah,
$50 million,
that's the
above
thing.
$50 million.
That's the thing. Like, if I'm the Heat, I don't know if I really want to do that just to be a team that's maybe gonna go on a miraculous run in the playoffs. But like, I'd rather not
Yeah,
do that. You know?
I love Jimmy last playoffs, but I don't think we're seeing that again.
I don't.
I think that
I don't. I like.
if you hold on to that, it's kind of gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I like the mentality, but it's almost like a false reality. Um, to just be like, we turned up in the playoffs last year. We can do it again this year. Like, no, I'd rather see you compete. Because like the thing is, last year their offense looked so poor all season, and that was the thing. Everyone was like, their offense isn't going to be able to do anything in the playoffs. And then round one came.
They were the worst offensive team, yeah.
Exactly, round one came, and Jimmy Butler looked like Superman against the Bucks. And then
And then their shooters got hot.
exactly, and like people were like, well, they could do that this year, and now they just got absolutely torched by the Celtics, who were missing Kristaps in some of their games as well. So like, I just yeah
You can't bank on that
yeah
because it was such a miraculous moment that I don't think you could recreate.
no exactly.
Like that run and also the bubble run, like those were your chances. Like I think you just have to cut your losses at some point, um, and just accept the reality. Like, yeah, we were close, but we can. But Spoelstra's such a good
I
coach,
know that
so
that's
it
the
like
thing.
you
Spoelstra's gonna be able to get the best out of literally everyone.
you also don't want to go through a retool with Spoelstra as your coach. I don't think, and you extended him, so like I think that they're going to be trying to win. I don't know. They're in a tough situation because they don't really have too much flexibility to like do a retool. Like I would love for them to do a retool, keeping Bam and then kind of retooling around him. Um, but yeah, I don't know what you do.
Well, I feel like with Spo specifically as well, there's just no way. Like he feels like a Greg Popovich. Like he just feels like he'll be with that franchise forever, whether
Yeah,
they're good or
and
bad.
he gets the most. Yeah, he gets the most out of his guys, man. He. It's crazy that I think the highest he's finished. Let me see this, because like we know he hasn't won a Coach of the Year. I don't think he's been close. Like if I'm gonna look at Basketball Reference voting, the
It
highest
kind
he's
of
ever
makes
been,
sense.
the highest he's ever been in the voting was no, he was 2 1 year. Well, he only got 9 first place votes. So yeah, okay. This wait, am I tripping? I think I'm tripping. I don't know, man. Let me see. Coach of the Year in 2012, 2013. He was okay, he was number two. So he has been number two, but like I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, like, it's just like when his he was younger into his coaching career, he had LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, and that was like, you know, you're not going to get the coach of the year to the guy that has the one of the greatest big threes of all time, and then even with
Maybe
this
the greatest player in his prime.
exactly, and maybe with the newer Heat era with Jimmy Butler, you have
Didn't good enough in the regular season
exactly other than like
to
the
warrant a Coach of the Year.
other than the one year they were the first seed. Other than that, they haven't really been great in the regular season to warrant a coach of the year. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, true. The Heat's future is kind of looking.
Oh my lord, Jesus! I mean, it's true though.
I just seen the soundboard. I was like, let's go. um, okay. Last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here is the Nuggets and Timberwolves series. I am excited for it.
Me too.
I think that the Timberwolves actually like. I know the Nuggets are amazing. I think the Timberwolves match up good. And, I think with the way the Timberwolves are rolling right now, their confidence right now, I think they believe that they could beat anybody. And that's the right mindset to have right now.
Yeah.
I think they match up really well. I think that they have a really well, like, I know that it's funny because last year we weren't thinking this, but I think that their roster is well constructed. I think they have everything you kind of want in a team that can make a run.
Yeah.
Like their main thing before was Anthony Edwards. I think was my only real like question mark if he's ready for the moment.
He's really shown he's
And
ready for it.
yeah, we'll see how the Nuggets like match up with him because like you have KCP. We'll see how like we know KCP is a really good defender, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like the Timberwolves have been able to play the Nuggets relatively well, like in terms of matchups, like where you have Gobert kind of on Aaron Gordon. And then like with the way Cat's playing defensively right now, like if that carries over into this next series, like they're dangerous.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And then also, yeah,
I yeah.
his catch shooting is continues. Like if offensively too, that was another big question. Was like, what Cat are we gonna get? Because his playoff reputation before was not good. But after that Sun series, I think that he's turned that around.
Yeah. I still think we'll see the Nuggets get out of there in 6, maybe 7. But I think it'll be a real like I think it'll be similar to the Lakers series where every game feels like it's like super close. And I think yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
you said, Cat's been playing good. He's really stepping up defensively. He's obviously going to space out the floor. He provides a great mismatch. Gobert is obviously one of the best rim protectors of our generation, and
And Gobert was so good in that Suns series.
yeah,
Like,
and
they're gonna run him in pick and roll because that's how you try and beat Gobert is in space. But like, he's been holding his own in space. Same
yeah,
with Cat.
yeah, and I think Anthony
So,
Edwards has really stepped up in terms of being like a game manager, which was always my biggest like critique for him, and he's really shown that
yeah.
he can do that at least based off the Sun series. So if he can continue that, it'll definitely be a super close series.
Yeah, for sure. And then also to mention the bench, like if Nickeil Alexander-Walker plays how he's been playing, and then they have the sixth man of the year as well,
Guard
which
that
is
corner.
something that the Nuggets kind of lack.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, like I'm excited for this series. I think this will probably be my favorite second round series. Um, like I think that they match up really good. And then also the Chris Finch thing I think is just fire beneath them. Like, oh yeah,
do
let's
it
do
for
this for
coach.
coach. Yeah. Um, is he gonna be coaching? How's that gonna
I
work?
don't think so. I think well, he has to get surgery. There's no way he'll be like back right away. But like, I guess
He
it's
could
not like
just be like sitting in a
no,
chair.
yeah, it's not like he's also doing anything athletic either. So,
I mean, hey, walking up and down, it's tiring.
do you know that?
You need to be on your feet. So
Do you know that Jason Tatum video, the tie a tie video?
no.
You've never seen the meme
Oh
of
no,
the
the
YouTube
YouTube.
video?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he just
On
posted.
his YouTube
He just
channel.
posted another YouTube video. Tie a shoe.
No way. Tie a shoe
Like what
with
the
Jason Tatum.
like what the heck?
That's so funny. Hey, he had to follow up his biggest video.
For real, he's back to making bangers.
How many views does Tie Tie have?
7.8 million. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. That's so funny. He does have Ty's shoe. That's so good. Hey, man. Wait, why is he on YouTube? He needs to be focused in the
For
playoffs.
real, lock in. Come
Not,
on. This is why
yeah,
the
lock
Celtics.
it.
This is
Stop
why the
tying
Celtics are gonna
shoes.
lose. Actually, they have to play the. They
Yeah,
have to
the
play the.
Celtics are gonna lose.
They have to play the Cavs or Magic. They'll be fine.
The Celtics have such an easy path, man. Um, yeah, I don't know. What else? I was gonna say something else about the Timberwolves, but I don't remember. Hmm. Do you have anything else to say before we end it off?
Um. No. Unless you can. Yeah. No. I think
Unless what?
I'm happy with the way the brackets kind of turned out low key though. Like the Philly New York matchup was fun, and now the New I think it'll be kind of it makes the path easier for the Knicks, but I think the Knicks Pacers series will still be fun. Celtics will just cook everyone, so don't really care about that side of the bracket. But then you have hopefully we'll have a Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic conference finals eventually too.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice. It's kind of shaping up like I think Arl might. No, I had the Suns moving on instead of the Timberwolves. Um,
Dumbass.
I did not like the Suns, but I just thought the matchup was too much, and I also didn't know about Cat. Sorry, Cat.
I wasn't
I was gonna
familiar with
say
your
something,
game.
and I forget. Oh, yeah, facts. Um, well, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. I will probably remember after we finish, and I'll be like, oh, that's what I was gonna say. But yeah. Anyways, that's all for this episode of the Hoopers Lab podcast. We hope you enjoyed. If you're on YouTube, then like, subscribe, and comment away. If you are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, do what you do there. Like follow, 5 stars, whatever it is on other platforms. And yeah, that's been us. We'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.
Adios.